Hello, my name is Yuhao. I'm a master student in the Department of Sociology at Zhejiang University. I'm glad to be here today. The title of the paper I'm sharing today is Cadre-Mass Conflicts, Villagers, Tactics, and Rural Factional Politics, a case study of land expropriation and demolition in Village D of CDP, Shandong Province. Here is the table of contents for my speech. Demolition is an important foundation of China's urban development system and a key research topic in the sociology of urbanization. The flexible implementation space of demolition policies can easily lead to a sense of relative deprivation and injustice among demolition households, giving rise to multi-party conflicts between residents, governments, and developers. The governance of neo household is a prominent challenge in grassroots demolition work. Existing research mostly focuses on the interest game and social contradictions in demolition, and there are obvious research shortcomings. Most studies assume that villagers' resistance methods are non-violent. Some studies assume the power advantage of village cadres as the premise, ignoring the governance logic of grassroots maintaining stability and avoiding risks. And a large number of studies directly ignore village cadres as a key intermediary group connecting the government and villagers. Therefore, incorporating the cadre-mass relations into the study of demolition and relying on typical case analysis of the entire process can more accurately reveal the impact mechanism of land acquisition and demolition on the cadre-mass relations, as well as the strategies for the villagers' rights protection. This article selects D village in the suburbs of P City in the western part of the Jiaodong Peninsula as a research case. The number of land acquisition and demolition projects have increased significantly in the past 2 decades. D village, as a typical urban border village, is located adjacent to the urban area and high-speed railway station, with a unique location and scarce available land resources. Most villagers rely on individual business and migrant work as their main income, and the surrounding villages have completed demolition and renovation. This study adopts quantitative research methods to reconstruct the entire process of demolition in the village through participant observation, text analysis, and semi-structured interview, and explore the core reason for the stagnation of demolition. At present, the demolition work in the village has not been substantially promoted, and the villagers in the village have divided into operating supporters and opponents. The sharp Cadre-Mass conflict in the D village stems from historical land disputes, demolition compensation disputes, and long-term factional struggles within the village as the core cause. Since the 1990s, the D village community has adopted the group election model for election, where villagers form teams to participate in elections and are bound by honor and disgrace. With the acceleration of urbanization and the increase in land value in P City, the interest and reputation behind the demolition rights have completely intensified factional struggles in the village, and the bribery has become a means of public election. The villagers in the village are divided into royalists who support the original secretary, anti-royalists who oppose the original secretary, and natural villagers. The royalists hope to improve their living condition through demolition. The anti-royalist questions the encroachment of village officials' interests and demands that newly appointed officials who are fair and honest lead to demolition process. Neutral villagers passively accepted the demolition arrangements due to fear of internal conflicts and pressure from government. Faced with demolition, the anti-royalist has formed a clear resistance strategy. The primary method is to cause trouble and protest offline. Villagers take turns on duty at the village community every day, closely monitoring the movements of cadres. They have rapidly organized middle-aged and elderly villagers to surround the village community, verbally harass them, and obstruct the development of village affairs. Secondly, there is the issue of petitioning at higher level. The anti-royalists continue to petition for election fraud and corrupt among cadres. Their core demands revolve around competing for the dominant position in demolition and seizing the benefits of demolition. Relevant core personnel have also become key targets for maintaining stability at the grassroots level. In summary, the demolition resistance strategy of villagers is essentially a tool of factional politics within the village, and the intense Cadre-Mass conflicts are also an inevitable result of factional games. As the intermediary body connecting the country and rural areas, village cadres not only grasp local social resources and take grassroots governance responsibilities, but also act as implementers of national policies. Once village cadres deviate from the public interest stance and intensify conflicts among villages, it will not only directly damage the relationship between grassroots officials and the masses, but also seriously erode the overall trust of villagers in the grassroots government. In terms of coping strategies, firstly, establish bottom consolidation mechanism with multi-stakeholder participation. Second, formulate detailed regulations and standardize the cadre recruitment criteria to enforce law-based cadre conduct. Finally, reform and refine the petition system. Now I will make a brief summary. Although these disruptive acts look unreasonable, they actually bring the biggest possible benefits to villagers. People take some actions to ask higher authorities to step in. They only want to solve unfair problems in land policies, and they do not aim to fight against the world governments. Villagers' strategic behaviors center on disturbance, combine formal and informal forms of resistance with organized, violent, and non-violent actions coexisting. Such behavior reflects villagers' expedient adaptation to the prevailing social environment. Nevertheless, in the long run, they exert severe adverse impacts on rural cadre-mass relations and grassroots governance. This is the entire content of my speech. Thank you for your attention.